And glad you're here. So welcome to this year's ACM Hypertext Conference. And I'm very pleased that you registered and that you came to Hof, Germany, which is not a big city, but nevertheless it's a very interesting place to be, in particular in 2019. Let me introduce myself. My name is Claus Atzenbeck. I'm one of the two general chairs of Hypertext 2019. The other one is Jessica Rubart. She will introduce herself later. I have a history in hypertext research myself. When I was studying information science at the University of Regensburg, I became very much interested in hypertext. This was in the mid-1990s. Later, in 2003, I started my PhD in Denmark, also with a topic of spatial hypertext and how people would organize knowledge spatially. I graduated in 2006, and after that, I continuously worked in the field of hypertext and hypermedia. So it's an honor for me to have Hypertext 2019 organized at this particular place. I have mentioned already that 2019 is a year of importance for Hof. And this is because there are several anniversaries. One anniversary is certainly the 30th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. And this is important for Hof too, because Hof is a city next to the inner German border. Then we have the 30th ACM Hypertext Conference this year. So I'm not talking about 30 years, but 30 occurrences of this conference. Then we have the 30th anniversary of the World Wide Web, the same year. And we have the 20th anniversary of the first ACM Hypertext Conference in Germany, which took place exactly 20 years ago. Now it's the second time in Germany, which also is a nice coincidence that happened. So it's the year of anniversaries, in particular the year of the 30th anniversary of the ACM Hypertext Conference. When we were thinking about the conference and what theme it could take, we instantly came up with the idea of tearing down the wall. And this has different notions. One notion of tearing down the wall is the physical one, the Berlin Wall, felt because people wanted to be free, people wanted to join. So this is a very nice idea in society, a very nice act of people who wanted to become free, who wanted to have more freedom. So when I thought about hypertext, I felt we would need something similar. We realized that in the past years, we focused very much on only one specific topic in hypertext, which is basically web technologies and analytics, web analytics and social media analytics. The other topics which enriched the hypertext community previously became smaller and smaller. For example, electronic literature. So I thought it would be a very nice idea to tear down the wall in our brains, to join together different communities that have to do or that work on hypertext with different perspectives. So tear down the wall is not only something which happened 30 years ago in Germany, but it also should happen in our mindset. It should also happen in our brains and also our understanding of the community. So any activity you see during this conference is targeted towards community building, broadening our scope and broadening our understanding of the community. The exhibition, which is curated by Dini Grigar, thanks for curating this exhibition, which you find downstairs on the left-hand side if you enter the building, has also the same motto, tear down the wall. So the exhibition is of electronic literature is made with this topic, with this motto, as well as some other activities we have also target to increase the community. One is certainly our invitation to posters, and we appreciate those of you who present posters, it will be upstairs, by conducting a dedicated poster session where people actually will walk up to your poster and discuss the poster with you instead of only watching posters during coffee breaks. We also will have a hyperfiction traversal. This is a guided tour through a hyperfiction story. And we will have Mark Bernstein's 40 hours hypertext challenge, to which several hypertext fictions have been written. So this will be also explained to in a specific session. So this is an appreciation to all of the researchers and artists who do work in the field of hypertext to feel welcome at our conference. And I strongly believe that we all can learn from the variety of people and approaches in hypertext. Building up a community can also be seen with this statistics. It shows the paper submissions of the past 5 conferences starting in 2015. As you see, we had significantly more paper submissions this year. So the past few years we had like 60 or 69 paper submissions. This year we had 103, of which we accepted 30 of them. So the acceptance rate stayed the same, but we have 1/3 more papers to be presented during this conference. So obviously there was a desire within the community, within those community fields to come back to the hypertext conference and join in and be an interdisciplinary conference. So my last slide is about something we also thought about of being beneficial. And this is every person who registered for the full conference will receive a free 1-year SIGWeb membership. And this is also, or the goal behind this is also to increase the community, to have an official organization of which you would be a member that tells you, yes, you're a member of the hypertext community. So we thought it's a very nice sign coming from SIGWeb, which I appreciate very much, that you all who register for the full conference will receive a 1-year free membership with all the benefits. You have access to the digital library and so on and so forth. Finally, I wanted to, if you have problems with that, please let us know, because we will subscribe you to a 1-year free membership, which will expire automatically. One last thing, please wear your badges all the time, in particular if you go to our canteen, because otherwise you would have to pay for your food. Okay, that's from my side. And now I'm pleased to hand over to Jessica.
Thank you very much. So I'm Jessica Rubart. I'm the general co-chair of this conference, and I am professor for business information systems at the OWL, University of Applied Sciences and Arts. OWL is an acronym for an area in Germany which is called in German Ostwestfalen-Lippe. And it's about a couple of hours driving by train or by car to the northwest from here, then you will be there. So hypertext. I think my first hypertext was in 2001. 2001 is already 18 years ago. So I met Ted Nelson there in person, which was very exciting for me. I met him the first time there. I met Mark Bernstein the first time there. And 18 years ago means, so I'm a kind of hypertext adult now. maybe. So, but coming back to this year's conference. This year we want to broaden the community, and we have quite a couple of interesting events. So first of all, the social events. Today, if you're interested, and we hope you are, we will have a guided city tour and we will visit local pubs in Hof. So we hope all of you will come and take this chance to do community building. Then tomorrow we will have a visit to the Museum of Mödlareuth. Mödlareuth is a small village which was divided by the wall. And in this museum, still parts of the wall are there. So if we go there tomorrow, you can see in what way people might have felt who were living there. And also what we will have in Mödlareuth, we will have sausages, both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. So then on Thursday, we will have a very nice dinner with beer tasting. We will have a lot of beer to taste, so I hope this will be a very interesting community building event. So yesterday we had 85 registered participants. Today we have a few more registrations. So we have quite a lot of registrations, at least more than we expected from the beginning. And we have 22 countries this year. This is quite a lot. So we are very international, which is very good. We have a couple of ACM members here, SIGWeb members. So SIGWeb, our special interest group on hypermedia and the web. But we also have non-ACM members, students, and a few retirees. And we hope our community building events also and our agenda items on hypertext history also will help to increase the community. So the 22 countries, you can see them here. So very international. So the community is healthy in terms of this distribution all over the world. And now I would like to hand over to our program chair, Dave Millard.
Thank you very much. So yes, welcome to me. My name is Dave Millard. I'm an associate professor of computer science at Southampton University in the UK, and I'm very pleased to act as this year's program chair. And Claus and Jessica have generously given me slides with nothing difficult to pronounce on it, so thank you very much for that. So I first came to hypertext in 1998. It was actually the first academic conference I attended as a PhD student. And it was also the conference I attended, I gave my first full paper at. I think that was in 2000. And I think since then I've been to 18 or 19 of the last 21 events. And I think I've been on the organising committee about 8 times, but this is the first time I've actually acted as program chair. So I got away with it until I was collared by Claus last year. But very pleased to do it and to be here. As we've already said, we had a very, very good number of submissions. We had over 100 submissions, and that actually made choosing the program for this week's events really challenging. It was very difficult to draw that line. We had a large program committee, more than, about 129 people, I think, in the end, who generated about 300 reviews over a 4-week period. So to those of you in the room who participated in that and were part of that review process, thank you very much. We really do appreciate all the efforts that you make. And the academic community would not survive if it weren't for people like you donating your time to make events like this possible. So thank you very much. As Claus said, we have a broad program. We wanted to try and have many ways for people to participate, whether you were brand new to the community or you had someone who had been coming for a number of years. So in particular, we have things like the 30 years of hypertext track, reflecting on where hypertext has got to over the past few decades and perhaps where we should be going in the future. We've already mentioned the creative track and exhibition, which I really encourage you to visit over the next few days. And later on today, we have a busy workshop program and tutorial program as well. So there are plenty of ways to get involved. I'm very pleased too to have a doctoral consortium this year as well. We have 3 keynote speakers for you. So our first keynote, which will be tomorrow morning, is Belinda Barnet, who you may know her. She recently published a book on memory machines talking about the evolution of hypertext. So I'm hoping we'll get some good reflections about where we've got to and how we got here and why we are at the place we are. We have Andy Van Dam, which I think is a fantastic speaker for Thursday. For those of you who don't know, Andy was one of the very first people to work in hypertext systems back in the 60s, worked alongside people like Ted Nelson, and has really been a luminary in our field ever since. And then on Friday, really in the spirit of the theme of the conference, we have Manfred Weber. Now, Manfred Weber is the chair of the European People's Party. Many of you will probably not be familiar with intricacies of European Union politics. As someone from the UK, it's something I'm becoming increasingly familiar with this year. But Manfred is going to be talking a little bit about the European experience of tearing down the wall and reflecting on the European way of life and some of the ways in which that has enriched and advantaged all of us. So just on that theme of bringing together communities again, one of the things that I would reflect on is that this is a conference which has actually been instrumental in helping to start a number of other communities. The Hypertext Conference was publishing web papers before the web conference existed. It was publishing papers on adaptive hypermedia and user modeling before that conference existed. We published papers on the semantic web and linked data before the Semantic Web Conference existed. And of course, we were one of the original places where people were publishing what is now some of the seminal works on electronic literature. Similarly, the Web Science Conference, which I believe has now been going for 10 years, we were publishing web science papers here before they existed as well. And I think it's probably fair to say that we were also doing social media analytics and informatics before any of those conferences were in place too. So we're very good at starting these communities and picking up on these trends. And I really hope that this year we can see some of that folded back into the community and really benefit from having that breadth of perspective. So thank you very much. I'm going to hand back over to Claus at this point just to say a little bit more for the schedule of the day. But I very much hope you enjoy the program events this week. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Just a few words about the workshops and the organization. If you need any help, our local chair, local organizer, Anne Happel, and her team is happy to help you. Right, go with the yellow registration card. So I'm red, don't ask me. The whole conference will take place in this building. So if you get out of this building looking for a room, you're wrong. So you will find all rooms very easily. There are only 2 floors, downstairs and upstairs. And you find the room numbers on the program, which you also can download as PDF as well as on the web page. One last thing, which I would like to mention, is the use of our Twitter and Facebook account. So we want to use, or we started using Twitter more actively, simply because we want to build a community which can be reached after the conference and in expectation of the next conference. So please follow the ACM Hypertext Twitter ID if you have a Twitter account, or follow us on Facebook. And please also don't hesitate to tweet about the event, because we want to make some noise outside to show this is an active community and we are doing well. So thanks a lot, and have very good workshops and an enjoyable conference. If you have any problems, just come up to me or my team, or to Anne and her team. So thanks a lot for joining in.